Bobby, what stands out to you the most so far about the Battle of Ontario?
It's always high intensity games. They're always fast, emotional, and always close games too.
When there's a moment like what happened at the end of the last regular season meeting with these guys, Riley, Greg, what does that do for a rivalry, do you think?
I mean, it's not something at the forefront of your mind. I think it's just kind of more in the past now, but obviously it shows that there's that emotion side of it, and there's that battle to win every night, and nobody wants to lose, and sometimes it does get emotional. So it's always a close one, and it should be exciting.
Looks like injuries are starting to pile up here. What's the mindset when a guy like you maybe gets an elevated role or something like that?
Just continue to stick with my game and play to my strengths, and that's winning puck battles, competing hard, trying to win those one-on-one battles and get the puck to the guys I'm playing with, or up to the D or whoever it is on the ice with.
You must know Alex Dees pretty well. What's he bring to the team?
Yeah, he's good compete, knows how to score goals, has shown at the American League level that he's had a lot of success being able to score, contribute offensively. So he's a really dynamic player in that aspect, and I think he can bring that to this level as well.
What is standing out to you the most about Nylander's game to start the season, second in the league in goals?
I think just his confidence with the puck is unmatched. He's able to make plays when there doesn't seem to be a play to be made there, and the puck's been hitting the back of the net for him, and rightfully so. He's been generating a lot of chances.
What were you thinking when he went end-to-end against the Habs the other night? I know it's not a great look maybe for Montreal, but there's still a lot of skill involved in that.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to be able to read that in that scenario, because oftentimes there isn't that space there. So to be able to read it, take it, and then take advantage of it and hit the back of the net, that's really impressive.
And the puck isn't falling for you as an offensive guy. Do you change it? Like, are you superstitious at all? Will you switch things up?
I am, unfortunately, a little bit superstitious. I don't love to be, but I kind of just stick with the same superstitions all the time. I'm not trying to change it. I don't think something I do, like maybe off the ice before, maybe like changing the way I take my stick or whatever. I don't think that changes a whole lot. It's just trying to stick with it and continue to work, and hopefully it translates on the ice.
Did you change anything in this last stretch?
I mean, yeah, you change maybe the order, like the warm up, and trying to maybe just alter the mindset a little bit before the game, and that sort of thing, or like the visualization pieces that I do, but nothing too drastic.
The warm up routine, like when you're out on the ice in the pregame warm up?
No, like the off ice, a little bit with the on ice too, but more the off ice, and just trying to change up maybe a little bit of the order of things just to shake it up.
When you're playing third line versus second line or whatever, do you change your expectations in terms of offense or things like that when you're kind of moving between second and third line? Or
I don't think so, not necessarily. I think it's more just trying to bring what you can and bring an identity to whatever line you're playing on. Obviously, the guys I'm playing with tonight are great with the puck, so it's trying to get them the puck, trying to work to get pucks back, and then move from there. And I think that's both on any line, like whether you're first or fourth line, it's trying to win battles and compete to get the puck in your hands.
Max's physicality was such a big part of that line as well. Is that something that's in your head a little bit, something you're conscious of, trying to fill that role?
Yeah, I think that's a role that I try and play as well. Try and be physical, try and be hard on bodies, and then get in on the forecheck. That's going to be a strength.
That last game against him in the regular season last year, Riley, Greg at the end, when something like that happens, what's it do to the rivalry?
It just spikes it. I think it just shows the emotional side of the rivalry, and we just want to, beat them tonight and kind of get going good on playing them this year.
Have you ever seen that before? Slap shot into empty net?
I think I've seen maybe once, but no, I haven't seen it before.
Okay.
You lead a team with 7 drawn penalties. I guess, is there an art to drawing penalties, and how does it add to your offensive dynamic in a way?
I think it's just being a smaller player. I mean, I don't know. A lot of them have been little cross checks from behind. I don't know. I don't look to draw penalties, but again, I guess that's some area that I'm happy about, drawing some penalties, and yeah.
100 games milestone. It's been a grind to get there for you. Like, what did that milestone mean to you?
That was a lot. I think I didn't really think about it too much until everyone started congratulating me on it and saying it was a big deal. So I was happy to get 100. Hopefully 100 more.
Injuries starting to pile up around here. What's the team got to do to kind of everybody step up, sort of thing?
I mean, I think we've been playing pretty good as of late. I think just being consistent. The past 2 games we've been really good. So just be consistent. Obviously, this team's dealt with injuries last year. I mean, we have a ton of depth, so it's just time for us to take advantage of the opportunity given everyone. So.
How are you feeling about your game? The puck it won't fall right now for you.
I know. I don't have a good relationship with the puck right now, but no, I'm happy with my game. I feel more confident than I was last year, and finding ways to be confident without scoring. Again, it's just a typical saying. You just got to stick with it. It's going to come. So I'm just relying on that and just focusing on producing offense and being right in every way I can.
When you have a disallowed goal like you did a game or two ago, do you hit the reset right away? Do you swear under your breath and keep going? What happens?
I mean, you got to reset. I mean, obviously it sucked. I really wanted that one, but I think it kind of maybe play a better game just because I had that aggressiveness or kind of like maybe a little irritated that it was disallowed. So I think it was one of my best games after that too.
Did you have any sense what the call was going to be as they reviewed it?
Like if it was going to.
Yeah, if it would stand, or were you?
Well, I know that when they're going to coaches challenge the NHL, it's most likely it's not a goal. So I think I already knew when they're getting together that it wasn't a goal.
We were just talking to Bobby about superstitions, and he says he tries not to be, but he is when the puck's not going in. He changes his warm-up routine. Like, do you change anything when the puck's not falling like this?
I mean, you kind of get in your head about things. I'm pretty bad with my talk to my equipment guys. I'm pretty bad with my sticks, so I don't try to change it. It's just little things like that. But overall, I don't try to change too much. I try to stick to what's worked for me in the past. I don't try to overthink it. But other than the sticks, everything's fine.
What would you change with your sticks?
It's nothing. It's like stick height, stick how it feels. Like I feel like when the puck's not going your way, your stick doesn't feel right for some reason. But if it is, it feels great. So I just need one so I know it feels good.
What's standing out to you about William Nylander starts the season, and he's second in the league in goals right now?
I mean, he's an unbelievable player. I think we're not shocked by how he's producing, and he's having a great start for us, and he's just obviously a very important player for us.
Bobby was saying he might be the most confident guy he's ever. What in that area stands out? Like as you try and get the puck to fall, can you take anything from what William does?
Well, he's just so relaxed. Like I don't even know if he has a routine or superstition. He just comes to the rink with a big smile and gets on the ice and scores goals. So obviously I wish I could be like that, but maybe one day.
I think just our commitment to tracking through the neutral zone from our forwards allows us to have some good gaps in the back end. And in zone, I think we're doing a pretty good job of clogging the middle of the ice. And our box out's been really good, eliminating second chances and blocking shots, and the commitment level of that and what that takes too.
What have you enjoyed the most about playing with Chris?
I just think the steadiness that he provides as a partner seems like to be always in the right spot. We're talking a lot out there. Makes the right plays with the puck. It's contagious, and we both have the same mindset as it goes to shutting down opponents' top lines and doing our job.
What stands out about the Senators and the challenge that they might present tonight?
Yeah, I think they always present a good challenge to us. Being not too far away from Toronto here, there's always a good crowd. Lots of good energy in these games, and need to come out ready to go tonight.
What was that experience like for you last year, experiencing that Battle of Ontario and just maybe some of the spillover that comes from that and then beating them again?
Yeah, I think anytime you're playing a divisional team, we got a few good rivals in our division, and that's great for the game of hockey, and I think it brings the best out of us, and it brings the best competitiveness out of us too, and we want to keep climbing the standings, and especially against divisional opponents, it's important to collect these points.
In your experience, when there's a moment like that Riley-Greg thing at the end of the last regular season game against them, what's that do for a rivalry?
I'm sure it only heightens it, but it's certainly not a talking point in our dressing room.
Do you see, any similarities in their sort of young core between you guys, and is there anything that stands out about Jake Sanderson to you? Maybe speed and some of the Sens D-core. Do you see any similarities between you guys?
I don't know about similarities. I think talking about a guy like Sanderson that you brought up, he's a phenomenal player. He can do it at both ends of the ice. He's great with the puck, great skater. Runs their power play, so he's a great player that you got to key on and not let him get activated in the rush and be that fourth or second wave, I guess.
What do you think Dewar can bring to the lineup?
Yeah, I was pumped to see Dewey out there practice yesterday. That's been a long road for him. I've also had shoulder surgery in my career, so I know what it's like, and just getting those reps in for him with the Marlies, I'm sure was important, and I think he's chomping at the bit to get back in the lineup here and contribute.
He was talking about taking a run at a couple of guys in that Marlies game just to, how did you find it in terms of a challenge coming back from shoulder?
Yeah, I think anytime you come back from an injury like that, whether it's shoulder or knee, there's certainly mental barriers that you want to get through or get over through your mind. And I'm sure that, like, if he's telling you guys that, I'm sure he's in a good space then.
What can you tell us about the lineup? Obviously, calling up Steves, you have some issues. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Domi and Elander will be in tonight. Dewar will be in tonight. Yeah.
Has there been any kind of setback with Austin not skating the past couple of days?
No, not really. It's just not getting to where it needs to get to, so we're just trying to manage it, just trying to make sure when he comes back, he's good and 100%.
When guys have been out as long as Dewar has, what do you look for in their first game, Craig?
Simplify, right? I mean, he went down and played, yeah. But, been a while, but he's been practicing with us, so he's familiar with everything. But, timing and things like that and, NHL speed and game, just simplify and just play your game. Like, he's an energy guy and, physical and grinding it out and checking and all those types of things. So, but I think, first game back, it's been a long time for him, is getting up to speed. It's a fast game out there, and he's got to make sure he's, simplifying and smart.
What stands out to you about the Battle of Ontario?
Yeah, it's always a battle with Ottawa. I'm not that familiar with it, but I think more than anything, I mean, it's going to be a hard game at both nets tonight. They go to the net really well, and they got some physical players up front that are good-sized guys. So we got to be strong at our net front tonight, and on the other side of things, we got to do a good job of getting to the net here tonight and looking for some rebound goals and things like that around the net. That's it's going to be a tough blue paint tonight for me on both ends.
The last game between the teams, last regular season, ended pretty emotional. Riley going after Greg after the slap shot into the empty net. In your experience, what does a moment like that do for a rivalry?
Well, I think at the time, your emotions play into the game with that sort of thing happening, and that stuff's been around forever. That's part of the game a little bit. I mean, you act out and you do things, and that's just. It gets heated, right? And but tonight's game, we gotta, that's in the past. We gotta focus on the game and be hard between the whistles tonight and be really disciplined. Their power play is very good right now, so we don't want to be taking unnecessary retaliatory penalties going to the penalty box tonight. So it's important we play hard between the whistles and we're disciplined.
When you watch Ottawa play, they look dangerous. Their record doesn't look like a dangerous team. What is it about them that sort of gives you worries when you see how much firepower they have?
They have a lot of firepower. They got a lot of good players, and these guys are maturing as it goes along, and they're getting better and better, right? You got Sanderson and Shabbat in the back end. They're highly skilled D-men that can really skate and get up the ice. And then up front, we know the guys that they have. We can't give them freebies tonight. We got to make them work for everything. We got to make them, earn everything they get. We can't be giving up odd man rushes and things like that against these guys. So we got to check extremely well tonight against this team. That's what it boils down for me.
You referenced the Argos as you walked away the other day. Are you an Argos guy or?
I am now. I followed CFL since I was growing up. I mean, I was always, growing up in Canada. I watched CFL football as a young kid and, go out and screw around on the outside with the football and all that. So, as you grow older, you start watching NFL and things like that. But still got some very good interest in it, and I wish them all the best.
Eskimos or Stampeders guy?
I was actually a Blue Bombers fan. Yeah, I don't know why, but I mean, I like the Eskimos too, living there and all that with Warren Moon, and they were very good teams. So, yeah.
How do you feel Robertson is handling not seeing the puck go in the net? He's a guy who's used to it.
He doesn't seem too frustrated. I think he's just working. He keeps working, which is good. The one thing that he's an engine, right? He's got a good motor, and he's got to keep working and keep grinding. And once maybe one or two go in, it'll happen a little bit more often. It just needs a little bit more puck luck, and maybe getting in the inside a little bit more and getting around the net and getting some rebound chances and things like that. And he's done that to a certain extent. I've, seen that some of the chances around the net, they're just not going in, and he's just got to keep working. I mean, he can't ever get his foot off the gas. He's got to keep pushing.
The way Stolarz has been playing, how has that impacted the confidence level of the rest of the team?
Well, I think both goalies, Wool last game I thought played well, especially in the third period where he had some action early on and kept it to 4-1. I mean, our goalies have been really well, playing really well, and that obviously helps your team, and your team feeds off that for sure.
What did it mean to you to get to 1,000 games? What that feeling was?
Yeah, I got scratched. It's a great accomplishment. Anybody that could play 1,000 games in the league, I mean, you're doing a lot of things right, and you're a good pro. There's a lot of things that can go wrong throughout your career with injuries and other things, but guys that get to 1,000 games, they're doing a lot of things right. They're grinding. They're doing what they need to do in the off season to stay fit and stay ready and keep going. So it's a great accomplishment. It really is.